claim is Trump and Republicans are better for the black community than Democrats.
If you'd like to be the first debater, get to that chair in 3, 2, 1.
Naima, nice to meet you.
Naima,
Yeah.
nice to meet you as well.
Before I do my rebuttal, I would just like to know why you think that.
Well, there's a myriad of reasons. I think that conservative policies are more beneficial to the black community. It's more beneficial to America, which black people are part of America. And I think that policies like limiting immigration or illegal immigration, getting illegal immigrants out of this country, lowering taxes, all benefit black people as a whole. Religious freedom, you name it, every single policy that I can think about that Republicans have implemented, that they stand for, the values they stand for are all
Not including Christianity, too. Everyone knows Christianity is best for America, best for societies, best for everybody, best for the world. Conservatives, Republicans side more with Christianity. Christianity aligns more with the right. Also, abortion. Did you know there would be 20 to 40 million more black people if abortion was not a thing? That is how many black babies have been aborted. So you'd have a whole nother generation of black people if conservative policies were in place nationwide. And I'm not saying that's the way it should be. I'm just saying that would be more beneficial to black people, right? You have more black people if there was not abortion. And abortion is a Democrat policy.
better off for black people than Democrats could ever dream of.
How have you okay. But first of all, religious freedom is not just a Republican policy. I just want
No, the
that's just in
Republicans
the
are far
Constitution.
more believe in the freedom of religion than Democrats could ever dream of.
I don't want to harp on that. That's in the Constitution. That's just not
religion
true.
from
But
every single aspect of life. No.
But I just want to focus on which one of Trump's policies specifically has been designed to help the black community.
Well, First Step Act has been designed to reverse the effects of over-policing from the past.
He has done that.
The First Step Act, yes, it was.
Okay.
To allow for people who were incarcerated with sentencing for drug dealing and less violent crimes for them to have some relief. My uncle got out on the First Step Act.
Okay.
Urban revitalization.
Yeah.
Injecting money into these inner city communities. Permanent funding for HBCUs, which Barack Obama never did.
Stopping crime, sending the National Guard to Washington, D.C. to stop crime because we know black on black violence is one of the leading causes of deaths of black Americans. So if you save them and keep them alive, that's a pretty good policy, I would think. I need to be on here. I think I could grill on here. I'm not going to lie.
Donald Trump implemented.
Okay.
I mean, I can go down a list.
Yeah,
And I think that lowering taxes and all the other benefits that Americans get is also beneficial to black
So
people.
it's funny because I've watched some of your videos, I've heard these talking points before, and I actually looked into all of these, and there's not a ton of quantitative impact on how those have actually affected just the black community. But let's talk about the Republican Party and Trump and his policies as a whole. Do you think that Trump reposting a video in which one of his supporters screams white power was beneficial to the black community?
I'm not familiar with some video that he posted.
Well, I mean, you should be,
Let's talk about Democrat policy.
You should be,
Let's talk about Democrat policy.
No,
What
see, no.
Democrat
Now you're
policy-
obfuscating. You are the one who has the burden.
It says right
I'm
here.
sorry. I do not want to be interrupted.
It says right here
I do not want to be
that
interrupted.
Trump and
You are the
Republicans are
one-
better than the Democrat
yes, exactly.
policies.
So the burden of proof is on
it's not.
you.
Not in a
Yes.
trial.
No, this is how a
You're-
debate
you-
works.
you're-
You've made a
you're
claim
saying
that
that-
you have to substantiate, and you
You're
have yet to
saying
do that.
I am wrong. So how are you correct in that Democrat policies are better than Republican
Well,
policies?
actually, do you want to know? My personal
with it.
belief is that the Democrats are fundamentally kind of apathetic to the needs of black people, while Republicans are openly antagonizing the black community.
Give me an example.
So, I mean, so an
What policy
example.
position is negative towards black people that Republicans implement?
Trump this year intentionally got rid of the disparate impact analysis. So what the disparate impact analysis does is that it analyzes laws that were made neutrally, policies that were intended to be neutral, to make sure that there were not any racial disparities as an effect of that policy, right? Accidentally. So Trump has removed the protection for the disparate impact analysis. So we don't know if the policies that we're enacting are disproportionately hurting the black community or not.
That doesn't make any sense. Any policy.
It doesn't make any sense. I agree.
No, what
It's a
you're
bad
saying
idea.
does not make any sense because the policies that are implemented,
Yes.
the majority of the ones that are in Congress are agreed upon by the House and the Senate,
Right.
Democrats and Republicans.
Yes.
And so with that being said, there's black people represented. There's
Yes.
all kind of
Well,
people
that's the
represented
point.
in creating our laws and
I know,
policies.
but that's the point.
So
But
what are you
not
saying that they're
everything-
not considering
But
whether or
here's-
not it has a desperate effect on black,
So
on the black
here's the
community.
thing. When you create a policy, obviously you're creating it in good faith. But we do not
See, she doesn't, you can tell she doesn't know what she's talking about. She sat there and read one little thing that didn't even have any example. She didn't bring any stat or anything. If you look at who stops black on black violence, who put funding for HBCUs, the Republicans and Trump did. Who wants more black people to be on the earth? Trump and Republicans, because they are not for abortion. The abortion thing is kind of an undebatable, thing, because it's like there'd be 20 to 40 million more black people here if that was not in place.
My next surrounded claim is that police officers do more good in the black community than harm.
I want to hear why you think that police do more good in the black communities than harm.
Well, when you look at the functionality of law enforcement, meaning that the people who perpetuate crime in the black community are arrested by law enforcement officers, removing them from the community, removing the predators, the drug dealers, and all of that from the community, which is a good thing. And I cannot name other things that are harmful that outweigh all of the good that the police officers do.
How did the police first come about?
But you be more
Slave
detailed
patrol.
than that.
The slave
That's
patrol,
not true.
yeah, it's
The police,
literally-
that's two
Fact
different
check it.
functionalities.
You
They can
fact check
fact check it.
It's
There's
the
two different
origins-
functionalities.
the origins
You're talking
of
about slave
policing,
patrols
the
and
origin
modern day
of
policing
police-
is
whoa, whoa,
completely
whoa.
different.
The origin.
They're completely different things. We're talking about now today. You see, his literal argument is, but slavery. That is what black people always use. But slavery. Bro, we're in 2026. Do black people kill a lot of black people? Yes. How can we stop that? With the police. This is not even a very tough debate to me at all. That is an easy concept to understand. If you have more police and you punish the criminals, there will be less crime, violent crime, less murders, more black people alive.
Origins of policing
not true.
within the United States of America
That's not true.
derive from the slave patrol.
That's
They
not
still
true.
use the same badges.
That's not true.
The same, the
That's not true.
stars on the.
That's not true.
Fine. That's
the
fine.
functionality of slave patrols and the jurisdiction
I'm
that
not
slave
talking about the
patrols
functionality.
had
I'm
versus the
talking about the
functionality and
actual-
jurisdiction of law
it
enforcement
derived
is
from
completely
the
different.
entire premise
That's
of
not true.
slave patrol. That's fine. That's fine.
not
Listen,
true.
okay, cool. So you don't think there's an issue with policing in the black community?
No,
You don't think there's an issue with stop and frisk?
no.
I do think there's an issue. It's not hard enough. They're not going hard enough.
You don't think that there's an issue with like flock cameras and geo-tracking?
No.
Got it. Okay,
I think
cool.
that helps eliminate crime.
Sure. Have you ever heard of the Veil of Darkness study?
No, I have not.
Okay, the Veil of Darkness study was a study that was completed where 95 million traffic stops were actually checked across the United States of America. Vast pool, right? The methodology accounted for the time of day, for traffic, location, different shifts. Would you like to know what they found in that study when it came to policing and black people?
That black people commit more traffic violations than other people.
No.
That is true.
Black people were stopped for more
Why?
traffic violations. Hold on, I got you.
Because they commit more
I got
traffic
you.
violations.
You don't know the study. How are you going to answer?
I know what other studies and statistical data points show.
Okay, then give me another
That's
study
why,
that
that's
actually.
why.
Oh, sure.
You
Let me
think
finish.
they just
Let me
pulling black
finish.
people over just because they see a black person driving down the
literally,
street? That's
the
not
Veil
true.
of Darkness
You have
study.
no evidence
The Veil
for that.
of Darkness
None.
study that was done by Stanford and backed up by the CDC actually showed that what happens is during
The CDC, the Center for Disease Control. That's why you can't just let these people just breeze past. He said the CDC. Now, what does the CDC have to do with this study in police? That is the Center for Disease Control. Unless it's something different. But I learned that during COVID. You can tell, bro. Look at this dude's shirt. You can just tell, bro. These people, he want to bring up stats and studies. Well, what about the 1356? Ooh, they don't want to bring that up. But it's actually worse than that, too, because the 13% includes women. You know, the women aren't doing it. So it's about 6%. But then it's not the old ones. It's the ones about 14 to, I think, roughly 40, maybe 38 years old, which is 2 to 3% of the population. And that group is responsible for 56% of all murders. So don't bring up stats because they don't look good.
the day, police officers use racial bias because they
That's
can
not true.
see
That's
people
not true.
and they pull people.
You've never
I'm going to finish my sentence.
made a traffic stop in
I'm
your
literally
life.
going to finish. I'm literally going to
I'ma
finish.
let
my
you
sentence.
finish.
They pull black people over during the day at a disproportional rate than white people, but at nighttime, when you can't see and it's harder to tell someone's actual race, then the average drops and it equals out.
Okay, let
they
me tell you
actually
why.
found that in the study 95 million traffic violations, that when you can't see someone's race, you focus on
Let
the
me-
traffic violations versus
let
the
me
day
tell you why
you focus on the
let me
people.
tell you why your study is flawed. For one reason, I was a police officer many years. I do traffic stops during the day, and you cannot always tell the race of a person during the day, no matter what. Secondary,
I agree.
They're secondary. When you are patrolling, majority of the black people that you engage with live in what? Black communities.
Over policing.
So you're going to make an excuse. We can get to that.
I'm not-
Over policed? So have you ever heard about a white community or an Asian community complaining about being over policed? There's no such thing as over policed, because if you don't commit crimes, then the police will not mess with you. It does it happen on rare occasions? Yes, everything happens on rare occasions. But as a whole, if you do not commit crimes, you will not have bad interactions with the police. That's just point blank, period. So I don't understand the argument to like being against the National Guard going to DC to stop murders. We saw the stats. The murders dropped a lot, and a lot of those would have been black people. So if these police and these National Guard, things like this, if they save black lives, do black lives matter to you?
Making an excuse.
You're making an
I'm just
excuse.
telling you.
When you're in a black community, you only have options to pull over
Give me
black people.
any type
Now,
of
let me finish.
empirics that
Let me-
disagrees with the Veil of
let
Darkness
me-
study.
Let me finish. I believe that there's clearly a flaw in what you're saying this study represents.
Sure.
Because
How can you
in the
critique the
black
methodology if
community,
you haven't looked at it?
in the black community, I have plenty of other
You got trust me, bros.
touch. I did it for a living.
Yeah, that's
And you
story,
did not.
bro.
So
Like I've looked
And
at the information.
I'm telling you
Do
why the
think
study. I'm
you're-
telling you why the
do
study
you
is
think you're a
wrong.
one-off experience?
I've read a study. I've been a police officer. Who would know more? Oh, trust me, bros. He was the police officer himself.
indicative of all policing around the country.
I'm telling you why your study is off. When you're looking at patrolling in black neighborhoods, you cannot. How are you going to make a fair comparison of how many white people pulled over versus black people when there's only black people present in the black neighborhood? The veil of darkness cannot get in the minds of a police officer and determine whether or not the police officer pulled a person over because of their color or the violation.
It
Facts.
literally
does not-
shows. If you look at the
doesn't
data
get
set,
in the
if
mind
you look at the
and
data set,
prove that a cop was looking at a black man
if you
and
look at the data
and
set
racially
of the
targeting
Veil
him.
of Darkness study, it shows.
Okay, enough on that, because the study is called the Veil of Darkness study. So that's not, studies are supposed to be unbiased. Who names the study the Veil of Darkness study? Then that shows right there that this is a biased study. He's talking about the CDC.
Everything I've listened to thus far, I think you're full of shit. You're a police officer.
No, give me an example of what I
Hello.
said that wasn't true.
Let me get to it.
Give me something I
I don't
said that
think
wasn't true.
anybody here would disagree that good policing is bad. We're talking about bad policing. We're talking about bullshit policing. We're talking about the kind of policing that puts gentlemen like you and me in prison for unjust crimes. You like to cite that you're a police officer. Let me cite my professional
officially.
background.
I was
Let
officially.
me cite
I have
my professional
I have been in that
background.
profession.
10 years writing policy in government.
You weren't
at
a
the
police
local
officer.
and
But you weren't a
state of
police officer.
California levels. And
You never arrested
weren't-
anybody.
You
California.
didn't write policy. I did.
I enforced the law.
So, okay, I write the laws.
you don't enforce the
but
law.
you don't enforce the law.
I
you don't
enforce the
enforce
law.
the law appropriately.
You just made it
You
up.
like to use one-offs. Let me use a one-off.
You don't need to use one off. You just made
in
it
the
up.
city of San Diego, there was a black police officer that sued the San Diego Police Department
Anecdotal.
with regard to, I mean, bro, all day you've been coming up with me. Now
I got
it's
statistical data
anecdotal.
points. Where do you want to go?
Like, I need you to keep that same
Black
energy,
people
bro.
commit
I need you to
over
keep the
half
same
all violent
energy.
crimes.
And that's the problem with black conservatives like yourself. You don't know how to keep
You're
the same
just
energy.
talking emotionally.
It was
Give me some facts.
me. Well, I'm trying to give you facts.
come on with it.
You supposed to be a police officer.
He's grilling this dude bad. He grilled this dude.
Hold your head, bro. Hold your head. You interrupted everybody, bro. I got
You're
what,
here to
2-3
debate me.
minutes.
I'm not here to listen to you talk in circles.
But you talking like you was a state trooper, you was a Secret
But I know
Service.
cops.
and
I
them.
know cops all across
Okay,
the country.
but I did too.
I know policing in the black.
like accountability. So I want to hold you to account. I'm trying to get my story out, and if I can finish my story.
This is not
Speak,
story time,
bruh.
man. The point is, police
The
do more good.
The point was.
Police do more
The point
good
was, with
in the
regard
black
to
community.
training, the San Diego Police Department showed a video training officers of that department depicting black people as primary perpetrators of crime.
Well, the stats would agree with that. And you're talking about one little story that no one can verify. Idiot. Move on. Yeah, so you see, man, these liberals, they come with the same emotional arguments every time. They don't have any stats to back anything up. This was just a small taste of OT, absolutely flaming all of these people. And it's really undebatable. It's not debatable points. These things are common sense. You just look at stats and logic and body cam footage, and that's all you need to do. That's pretty much all you need to know. They always say, but slavery, but this, but that, emotional. Well, what about the stats? Because they don't want to talk about the stats. And they say men lie, women lie, numbers do not lie. So y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man. I'll do a part 2 if y'all want to see a part 2 of this, because this is a long video. So I'll do a part 2 if y'all want. Let me know if you want it. Like, comment, subscribe, man. I'm gone.